Okay, so I'm going to try not to rant too much, but yeah, okay. So, basically, I have been struggling with things for the past couple weeks, or mostly week. It was like every single day I was slowly trying to get out of it. What it basically was overthinking. You create problems in your head, and they don't actually exist. They're just all made up. Okay. So, along with that, I have realized certain things that just I really want to talk about now. I think one of the major things that I really need to say is that we cannot understand books like Bhagavad Gita and, well, mostly just the Bhagavad Gita, because that's the song singing through our hearts. The teachings of God, we cannot understand them until we actually go through something in our lives that make that teaching shine through. Okay. So it's kind of like we can read it and we can be like, yeah, okay, I understand that. But it's different. Like, I don't know really how to describe it. But it's different from when you read it and you think you understand it, from when you actually go through something and just suddenly it hits you and you're just like, yes, that makes so much more sense now. I understand it now. Yeah. So pretty much what happened with me with that is the whole being in the world but not of the world. That was like the hardest thing that I really it's like okay, I need to be in the world but not affected by the world, and you just kind of, you think you understand it, you go through your day-to-day life and whatever, but it's like, until you really go through the struggle of like what that means, it's just, it's really, it was bad, but I'm really hoping that I'm finally getting out of it, because I'm telling myself that all these thoughts are mind-made. So, what I learned understood from not being in the world but not of the world, is you don't need to not live. I really needed to tell myself that it's okay to live. Like, we're so caught up in our little spiritual world, and we're just like completely like, we're all over here and the world is just going on here. If we get so sucked up in that, oh my gosh, don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm not saying don't be spiritual, because that's great, but just don't get up in your own little world and think that everything going on here you're just completely above it. You're not of it at all. It's bad. You're good. Everything else is just crap. Don't do it. Because if you get caught up in your own little world and you detach yourself so much from the world and you think that that's a good way of doing it, it's not a good way of doing it. It's not. You cannot ignore the world. You just can't, because if you ignore it so long, like I did, and you ignore it and you think that you're above it so much that eventually when you're forced to become back with that world and you're pushed back into it and you're just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? What is the point of everything? And that's what I was at. And believe me, that is like something you just do not want to think. You don't want to think to yourself, what's the point of life? And not like in a suicidal kind of way, but like a way like, why do we life? Not why do we live, but why do we life? It's like, what's the point? And then you start fearing the future, and you're just like, I don't need to do all this, I don't want to do all this, and you just start tripping yourself out, and just don't do it. I'm telling you, just don't. Okay, so anyway, what I pretty much learned from that is it's okay to be here. You just have to you need like a line. Okay, okay. Here's where you are, here's where the world is. This is bad. When there's no connection, that's bad. You gotta connect it. And when there's like a connection, you can be in the middle. You can be in the tube. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be it so you're able to just balance the two. Because you need to balance the two. You are a human being whether you like it or not. And you should like it. Because it's like God gave you this body and this life. And you got a life. Like, just, you got a life. Yeah. So anyway, what I learned is it's okay to be in the world as long as you are in constant awareness that God is the source of it all. Don't think that it's bad to love people, to be sort of, like, to be attached to your family. Like, you love your family. Of course you're going to be, like, somewhat attached to them. You love your mother. You need your mother sometimes. You need someone to talk to. You need something. We as humans, we need something. And that's okay. That's okay. As long as you can say to yourself, okay, the love that I feel comes from God. Simple as that. Period. End of story. This is all over the place. So yeah. Don't ever think that you're just completely good where you're at. I mean, like, spiritually. Be open to the fact that there's still so much more to know. There's so much more to understand. You may know it, but you may not understand it. Be willing. And don't close yourself out from the world. Don't hate the world. Don't think that the world is bad. Because it's okay if you're in the world. Like, you're not going to go kill people. You're not going to go do drugs. You're not going to go drink and party and do all this crazy stuff. You're not going to do that just because you're in the world and you care about people and you got to live. It doesn't make it bad. Like, there's so many people that just think that, oh my gosh, we're in the material world. This is a curse. What did I do to deserve this? No. This is not a curse. This is a blessing. You want to be a tree? You want to be an animal? You're a human being. Embrace the life that you are capable of living. But always keep God near to you. God is like a best friend, a father, everything that you could want. That's what God is for you. And you can tackle the world with that friend with you all the time. Simple as that. If you always keep God dear to you and live accordance to what He says, be nice to people, be loving, know Him as the source of everything, know Him as your only refuge, then you can live in the world. You don't need to ignore it. You just have to keep God with you. It's kind of like if you're here and and this is there. If you're forced to go over here, not only are you going to freak yourself out, you're not going to have the connection where God's not going to be able to come with you. Because you're going to think, oh, I need to now insert myself in the material world. And now everything else that I was with in the spiritual world is just gone now because I'm in this world now. So it's a completely different story. It ain't. It ain't. You know, like, you just have to take it with you, apply it in your life. Don't be afraid to live. Don't be afraid to do material things. Just know God is the source. Simple as that. And God is your friend. God is always there. God understands you more than you understand yourself. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was all I wanted to say. Okay, so thanks for watching.